Here's the second and the last thing I want to say before I bid you a good evening. Don't live for people's affirmation, but live for God's glorification. Maybe those two words you get, maybe nobody know how to spell those. Don't live for people's affirmation, but you ought to live for God's glorification. You ain't living to be liked. You're living to give God the glory. Church really ought to be over after that. Look at verse number 11, and we're done. It said, blessed are you when they revile you and persecute you and say all kinds of evil when they lie on you. Anybody got some liars? Come on, wave your hand there if you got some liars, people that's lying on you. You know them right now. Let me put both of my hands up. Let me put both of my hands. I know people just lie. Now, if I stopped right there, half the church would be standing up. Because you've been lied on and you've been talked about. I feel a song coming. You've been mistreated, but you got to read the whole verse. When you've been lied on for my sake. Now, y'all don't want to talk to me now. When you've been lied on for living for me. Why y'all quiet now? Let me help you out. It's going to cost you to live a godly life. Brother Donis and I talk about this all the time. Why is it that it seems like the people out there have everything, don't have a care in the world? They live in large and in charge. Yeah, even Deacon Jackson and I talked about this. They living free. Come on, talk with me, somebody. High on the hog, as they say. But those of us who are trying to live right, we're broke all the time. We struggling all the time. Come on, talk. Maybe I ought to preach a different sermon. Can I keep it 100? It always looked like they're more blessed than you. Yeah, that they seem like they ain't got no problems like we do. Come on, talk with me, somebody. Let me help you out. Let me help you out. Do you know why it's going to cost you? Godly men and women have to draw lines. You have to draw a line in the sand. Yeah, see, godly people draw lines. You can't talk to me any kind of way. You can't touch me any kind of way. You don't let everybody in your space any kind of way. You can't handle me any kind of way. I told my wife the other day, I said, you know what? I've been ridiculed of being too nice, but I am a Gemini. A lot of people ain't never seen the other side of me. And that's because I choose not to. But if you push me long enough, I'll take off my pastoral robe and put my Aldine hat back on. Come on, talk with me, somebody. But I've tried to make a decision to draw a line, because if I cross it, shame on you. Not shame on me, shame on you. You can't talk to me any kind of way. And see, when you live for righteousness' sake, you've got an off-limits line. I'm here to tell you, your pastor is no punk and no pushover. I'm meek and lowly of heart. Amen. Thank God for that. But I'm still human. Come on. At the end of the day. And see, but you've got a line that they can't cross. But guess what? It's a line that you choose not to cross either. Oh, just say shucky ducky. And let me tell you, when you live like that, I'm just about through, y'all. People will lie on you. Come back next Sunday. We'll shout, turn flips, break pews. When you determine to count the cost, it's going to turn some people off. Yeah. Did you hear what I just said? When you determine Yeah, that to count the cost. It's going to turn some people off. When you determine that you're going to sacrifice and live a life that's pleasing and acceptable unto God, you're going to turn some folk off. You're going to turn some folk off in your family. You're going to turn some folk off in your friendship circle. It's going to start to get smaller and smaller because things you used to do, come on, I'm going to y'all church next Sunday, and you're going to start hearing some stuff like they think they better than me. They think they all of that. Come on, talk with me, somebody. No, I don't think I'm all of that, boo. I'm just trying to be better than the me I used to be. Tell your neighbor, it's going to cost you something. Yeah, it's going to cost you something. It's when you choose to live right and walk in obedience. Yeah. Let me ask you, let me put it to like this. Let me ask you a question. Has being saved ever cost you something? Y'all ain't talking to me now. This is a check-out sermon. Yeah, everybody done checked out with me at some point. Can you hang out with the same folk you used to hang out with before you got saved? Can you be comfortable, yeah, to go in the same places you used to go before you got saved? I'm going to tell you why it's quiet. You pseudo-saved because you only saved for 2 hours, but let Friday night and Saturday night show up. If I go in some of them clubs, I'll see some of y'all in some sunglasses trying to be incognito. Have you ever watched somebody walk away from you because of your stand for Christ? See, if I was up here preaching about you're going to get a car in 7 days and there's going to be a check in the mail, some of y'all would be jumping up and down right about now. But this ought to make you shout that there are some places people won't invite you to because they know that you're too saved. Look at somebody, tell them it's going to cost. It's going to cost. All right, I'm going to, can I go to the deep end of the pool and I'm done? That sister will lie on you, brother, when you turn down what you really want, but you can't touch. Clap your hands 3 times if you hear me. I'm an equal opportunity preacher. That brother will lie on you, sister, when you say no, but looking like you really want to say yes. Yeah, that knucklehead little boy gonna lie on some of y'all in school when you go back. He gonna say you gave it to him and he ain't never held your hand. And you got to be okay with that and know that that means that you are walking righteous in the eyesight of God. And see, that's why young folk doing all they do, because we scared to talk to them like we really need to talk to them. Let them call you whatever they want to call you. It's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. Yeah, I got to get out of here. Great is your reward in heaven, no matter what people say about you. I want you to whisper that in somebody's ears. Tell them, great is your reward in heaven, no matter what people say about you. I wish I had a better witness in the house. Let me help you out. I'm finna find all the adults in the room. You want him to put that hickey on your neck. Yeah, y'all didn't know I was coming there, did you? You want to smoke the blunt. Puff, puff, give. It ain't always that you don't want to do it. If we were honest, some stuff we want to do, we just know we can't do because we love God more than we love that. Let the redeemed of the Lord say, come here, Joseph. Joseph was in that house with Potiphar's wife. Yes or yes? And we misread that text. Joseph says to her, I can't do this. Your husband has put me in charge of everything. He never said, I don't want it. He just said, I can't do it. And see, most of us will get delivered if we would just be honest enough and keep it 100 enough to say it ain't that I don't want it. It ain't that I don't want to cuss them out. It ain't that I don't want to drink, come on, and have a good time, but I'm too committed to God to turn around now. I mean, as saved as I am, as much preacher as I am, there's some folk I want to cuss out right about now. And I do it in my mind, if not mumble the words. But I have to come to a place of maturity that knows that the Spirit don't just read my mouth, but he reads my mind. All right, I'm done. I bid y'all a good afternoon. Truth be told, the only thing that's kept me from doing it sometimes is that the Holy Spirit got in my way before I can capitalize. See, you need to be shouting over that flat tire. Yeah, come on. I said you need to be shouting over that flat tire. You need to be shouting, they didn't answer the phone when you dialed the number. You need to be shouting. Come on, talk with me, somebody. That was the Holy Ghost. Yeah, and people ain't going to like you. They're going to lie on you. They're going to talk about you. Did you hear what I just said? But you got to know that means you are blessed. And see, here it is. You cannot live for the affirmation of people. You got to live for the glory of God. Are y'all hearing me? You can't allow people's opinion of your walk with the Lord to be a factor in your lifestyle choices. Jesus says to them in 12, he says, rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward that is in heaven. Some of us gonna miss the reward because we too busy seeking people's affirmation. We too busy caring about what other people think. But here comes the tweet. Come on, Chuck, help me. If you're always trying to prove your worth to somebody, you've already lost your value. I'm going to say that. I said it too fast. If you're always trying to prove your worth to somebody, you've already lost your value. You ought to tweet that. But here comes another one. Your value does not decrease because of somebody else's inability to know your worth. Just because you don't know my worth don't mean I don't know my value. As a matter of fact, because I know my value, I ain't dealing with you because you don't know my worth.